It's literally a fundamental shift in how value is created and measured. So in this new economy, the most valued currency, it's not going to be just money. It's
Welcome to How Do I Automate This, the podcast where we explore the real world impact of AI and automation on business and leadership. I'm your host, Shabir Nuruddin. Each week, I sit down with business leaders, coaches, and industry experts who are navigating the AI revolution firsthand. We dive into the practical applications, the human challenges, and the strategic opportunities that emerge when technology meets real business problems. Whether you're curious about AI, concerned about its impact, or looking for ways to implement it in your own work, this show brings you insights from people who are actually doing it, not just talking about it. Today, we're joined by Adam Connors, founder at NetworkWise. Adam, thank you so much for taking the time out of a very busy schedule to join us on our little podcast and to share your insights and just give us an opportunity to get to know you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really appreciate the opportunity, Shabir. I mean, your time is important too. So thank you.
Awesome. So just to start out, can you please introduce yourself and your business from a bird's eye view and kind of what you do, what it is that you're known for?
Sure. I founded a company called NetworkWise. We are a relationship economy business that offers a variety of different business lines with the common thread amongst all the different businesses around people, relationships, networking. So what we do is we essentially expedite people's outcomes through, teaching them how to build professional networks. And this shows up in a variety of different capacities, and we have a variety of different business lines that all support all these things that I was just explaining.
Mhm. So when you say relationship economy, does it happen that sometimes two very unlikely verticals may cross over? Like you'd expect that if two industries are fairly aligned and two executives from those industries have a greater chance of running into one another. Whereas perhaps through your business, two completely what would seem on the surface as unrelated businesses might cross over for a very profitable partnership.
I'm not sure I understand that. Can you say that one more time just so I can try to digest that a little better?
Yeah, sure. So when you say relationship economy, what's the economy factor in that?
So,
It's
yeah, let me. That's a great point. So there there is a big picture, I guess. There's a fundamental shift that's happening in the economy right now. Right, we are moving from a transactional economy into something called a relationship economy. So, this isn't just a trend. It's literally a fundamental shift in how value is created and measured. So, in this new economy, the most valued currency, it's not going to be just money. It's trust and the quality of connections that you have with your customers, uh, with your colleagues, your partners. So, the shift is driven by digital saturation and automation. So, as technology handles a lot of routine tasks and uniquely human skills like empathy, trust building, and genuine connection are become the key competitive advantage. So, like the
Mhm.
work that you're doing is awesome because it's freeing people up to be more um relationship driven, I guess. Like, so those that get ahead of it and embrace the technology that you're building and the things that you're doing, they're going to dominate, right? Like
Mhm.
if they utilize your tools to be able to get rid of a lot of the quote unquote busy work, then they could focus on, building trust, being authentic, providing value for others. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that?
For sure. Yes, for sure. And it's interesting where you say busy work, because that's kind of really one of the main pain points that we try to address as well with when we're on calls with prospective clients. It's like it's so easy to be caught up in like hours of busy work and feel like you had a productive day. And when at the end of the day, how much value have you actually created, right?
You nailed it. Yep, that's exactly it. So, and if you're able to free that up where people can do the real value work and what we call relationship intelligence work, that ability to connect, understand, build strong relationships, that's where you're going to have the opportunity to connect with real business, get more opportunities, develop that trust.
Right.
So, yeah.
So can you elaborate a bit more on relationship intelligence?
I mean, that's having that ability, that EQ, if you will, not necessarily IQ, the emotional intelligence, that empathy, that understanding, gratitude, things of that. These things that they call quote unquote soft skills. I call those the hard skills, or more like the career insurance skills that's going to
Right.
really help people. So you first have to, again, embrace what's coming or what's here right now, i.e., the work that you're doing. Understand that you're not a threat. In fact, that you're someone that's going to create more opportunities for people to do, like we said, the important stuff.
Right.
That's going to lead to creative ideas, right? Like
Right.
AI is awesome, but it's really not creative at all.
Right.
So that's the creativity, the connections, right? So you can do the things that we're actually that are more human to do, and
Right.
you're going to be more in line with who we are as people. So
Right.
that's the irony, right?
And how would you say is the best way to kind of to learn that? Obviously, this to a certain extent, maybe you can read some number of books on this subject, and at the end of the day, it has to boil down to like actually doing the rounds, right?
You nailed it. Just do it, right? Nike says just do it. You know, that that's their tagline. You got to get yourself out there. You just have to throw listen, you've got to crawl before you walk, before you run, right? So
Yeah.
the hardest part is the beginning, but and that's the part that takes the most work. But it's similar to like a rocket ship launching. Shabir, what happens is a rocket ship, it takes 85% of the fuel to launch, to get out there, but
Right.
it only takes 15% to get to the moon or wherever it is and back. Same thing
Right.
with your relationships, that beginning, just getting yourself out there. There's a great saying, oh my God, I think it might be Woody Allen, I think might have said it. It said, 90% of success in life is just showing up. And, it's the little things like that that really lead to the great outcomes. And like you said,
Right.
just doing it, and you'll get better.
Mhm. So that kind of holding on to that notion that you will get better at some point is probably what'll push you through the earlier embarrassments and failures, right?
Correct. And it's not even really embarrassments or failures. You're not going to have that because if you understand how to build relationships and networking is, it's getting back to that, how I was explaining this transactional economy to this relationship economy. It's not networking and building relationships is not transactional at all. And that's why a lot of people, oh, I hate networking. When I hear people say that, that just tells me they're ignorant. And I don't mean it in a pejorative way. It just means they just don't know what it is. And when you understand, your mindset and your attitude, they're really going to control, it's not your aptitude. It's going to, that are going to control you, the altitude in which you go. It's the mindset and how you think about it. So when you
Right.
understand that networking and building relationships is really all about just taking a proactive approach to relationship development with the ultimate goal of actually benefiting another person, not you,
Right.
not being transactional, that's how it happens. So you the goal is to transcend a connection, someone you meet, into a relationship, someone that there's a level of trust that
Was
ultimately becomes your ally. And that's someone who's got your back. That's the
right,
trust. And if if somebody trusts you, that's the magic, Shabir. If they know you, they'll talk to you. If they like you, they'll let you take them out for a steak or something, or dinner or breakfast. But if they trust you, that's the magic. That's where they buy from you, they do business from you, they confide in you, they put their name behind you. And when somebody puts their name behind you, if someone says your name, the sound's going to carry twice as far.
right, for sure. So it's interesting how you how the it's like it's a progression, right? And the final stage that you want to really reach is trust.
Yes. Yes. 100%. And because also, Shabir, that trust is transferable. Right? Like, Shabir, someone reaches out to me out of the blue. What are the odds of me responding? Pretty low. Okay.
Right.
Now, Shabir, I get an email or a call or something that says, "Hey, Shabir suggested that we have a conversation." My likelihood of responding has just shot the moon. Right? So, where a lot of people, again, nowadays, with technology, things are automated. There's no I don't trust a thing, by the way, that comes through. So I'm very skeptical, right? And rightfully so, versus that trust that we talked about, that hierarchy, that everything changes. And again, the speed. Remember I talked about things happen faster, easier, and better. The speed, the response time is a lot quicker. And then in which we're going to potentially do something. It's really interesting. I was just interviewed for a magazine last night, and I got to talking with the editor or whoever it was that was doing this piece on me, and she confided that um, for now on she is not doing any interviews with people that are not personally referred. Reason being is she was actually, and this is amazing to where technology is. The person that reached out, that did the initial pitch to her, all of it was AI.
Wow.
Okay. All of it was AI. She was blown away. That's where your technology is. It's that good. You know?
Right.
So that's they're bad. But she caught it, and I forgot what she said, how she caught it. And I wish I was more cognizant to think about this because it's so relevant for our conversation today. But it scared her. It kept her up at night, and it's actually making her think about switching careers because she's so afraid. Now her trust is really, her trust is on high alert.
Right. So where would you say is like that sweet spot between like for example with the lady that interviewed you yesterday, that was really pushing the envelope a bit
Yeah,
too far.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
there's probably some sweet spot in between where since the discussion is around AI, where AI can kind of be that uh like that support structure for you to build relationships more quickly or in a better way where you still have to do the final execution yourself. But is there some way that AI could help, like in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think AI is fantastic. I've got a friend. He's very clear. What he does, he's recorded a lot of video of himself. So
Right,
so AI is to the point where he all he has to do now is just type a message, and it comes out as him. And
right,
it's striking how accurate it is. So what he does, because he does not want to lose trust, he's very clear that this is kind of his AI, and he does it with fun. So that there's no, like, he's typed a message, he's personalized it.
right,
He just did not have the time to he's got these constituents, all these people that follow him, and they really listen to what because he provides a lot of value. He's a Harvard MBA. He owns a company. He's got a lot of information. but he doesn't have the time to personally make the calls to tell everybody what he wants to share with them. And then it's the same message. So he's created the instead of like a mass email, it's a mass AI message. And he's very just clear that it's AI. So this way he's not trying to fool anybody. He's very transparent about it, but it's a lot more personal because it's coming from him. You're seeing him. It's got his mannerisms. It's striking. But so I don't know if that answers your question, but I feel like that's a good as good as at least that I've seen this early days of
Right.
how to leverage AI just to use the technology, and then also so he's still in the relationship economy, if you will.
Right. So, like transparency to a certain extent would kind of bridge that gap.
Yes, yes. By the way, Shabir, you're doing a good job from the podcast perspective. Being able to just it's showing me that you're listening, and that's a big skill too, right? I was just talking and talking and talking, and you boiled it down into one sentence or one word with what I said. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, when you have conversations with, say, your clients or people in your lunches, um, when the topic of AI comes up, what's kind of like the uh, let's frame this in two ways. What's the biggest opportunity that you've kind of observed these guys talk about, and what's the biggest threat that they're perceiving?
That's man, that's a loaded question, and we do not have all day for that. Because it's a hot topic. It comes up every single week, and it's going to affect almost everybody, right? So so you've got the dissenters, i.e., those that are like, oh, it's the worst thing and it scares me. And again, back at that's just ignorance, right? Like, and it's valid. There are going to be a lot of jobs eliminated, right? The
Right.
linear career path is gone, right? Like you need to learn, you need to learn how to change these days. So it's scary to a lot of people, and rightfully so. But then on the other end, you've got the cheerleaders that are like, wow, look at what this can do for me. This can free me up from the busy work. This can
Right.
free me up from a lot of tasks that I just do not need to be doing anymore, and afford me an opportunity to spend more time thinking and interacting with people. Also, financial. It's a great financial opportunity for anyone who's sitting in a that's running a business, owning a business, because again, I'm sure you've heard about this. I mean, there are people that are on a mission to have no one working for them, no people working, which is again, it's scary if you're on that dissenter end. But at the same time, managing people is extremely difficult. It's extremely time consuming, and it's extremely expensive. So if you can offset a lot of those headaches, if you will, if you know by identifying good AI technology, then life is good.
Yeah, for sure. And have you implemented any kind of like these systems in your own business?
100% working on that as we speak. There's I would be foolish not to. And anyone who is running a business that's not embracing some of this technology is going to be going the way of the dodo.
Mhm. It's a pretty harsh way to put it, but I suppose that's the reality, right?
I don't like to be so harsh, but sometimes you do. It's almost like swearing. It shows that you've got a limited vocabulary when you swear, but sometimes, certain words are powerful and get attention and drive home a point. And I don't mean to be harsh, but I do think it's important to wake people up.
For sure. Yeah. Um, I excuse me. I totally understand if the next question kind of digs a little too deep, but would you be open to share like some of the things that you're undertaking or you're researching regarding AI in your own line of work?
Well, I don't know if I feel comfortable disclosing at this time because
I understand.
we're experimenting with a bunch of things. So I would be the bottom line is I am embracing it. The bottom line is I see a tremendous amount of value. And I'm trying to keep as open mind as possible
Right.
to to do things that can eliminate mundane tasks, busy work that um to replace everything that's not human. Because
Right.
again, getting back to the irony of where I am is I'm all about human. I am all about so I'm trying to embrace everything that can free me up to do as much human as possible. Right? That's the irony, right? You and I are sitting on other ends of the spectrum, but we're both kind of have the same goals.
Right. So it's interesting how like with some of the people that we've worked with, like we found that some companies and had like they were spending so many hours per week, like just creating folders for new clients every time they onboarded somebody, or just putting together proposals and all that, and all that stuff is kind of if you've already got if you've done the work and you have like you know what you want to do, those things are just so easy to achieve with AI and save so much time, for the human work, as you said.
So true. Yeah,
Yeah.
what are some of the biggest things that you're doing? What are some of the things that you're really excited about with your work that you think are going to be game changers for people?
Sure. So one, and again, I appreciate you asking me this because this podcast is about you and your business, but I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to kind of.
It's about us. It's this is about us. This is about having a conversation. This is about helping people understand. It's not about me. Again, you're giving me an opportunity to share something that I do, with
Mhm.
your networks. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel right. And selfishly, I'm curious, right? Like, and I would think that other people that are listening are probably, curious too, or they should be, right? Like, so I'm sorry, but please, I'm dying to know how, what are you working on? Tell me what's going on. Like,
Sure. So we've got two primary offers at the moment that we've seen is like really the need of the hour for most businesses. So one of those is when leads come into a business, we've seen that a lot of those leads are kind of lost uh, by the time they actually get around to reaching out to them, right? So if they're getting 15, 20, 30 leads a day, how many of them are they actually getting around to contacting? And out of those that they contact, how many are actually replying after that initial form fill? So what AI can kind of do is as soon as they fill out that form and you have the lead, AI can kind of start warming that lead up for you to eventually take that call.
great. Great. So for the majority of your stuff is sales driven, right? These are for companies like business development endeavors. Like those are that's where you are with the early stage of your AI.
Mostly because especially when we pitch AI services to people, um, the notion of saving time isn't quite as appealing as the notion of making more money. So
Yeah, but time is the most important commodity on this planet. And if you have
yeah,
that time, that's going to afford you the ability to make more money, to do the things that you want to do. So
yeah,
I,
for sure.
I'm surprised that people aren't understanding that. Like we all share the same 24 hours. Um,
Yeah,
for me, that's why I don't know if you remember when you first asked me what my company does. I led with we expedite outcomes. You know, expedite means speed up, which means free up more time. So
right.
I'm with you, man. Keep doing that.
Yeah,
Because people will self select out who you don't want to work with.
right. And if we can also like automate a lot of the research that goes behind the lead. So once a lead comes into your pipeline, instead of having to spend hours and hours chasing down their LinkedIn, chasing down their website, chasing down their socials, and kind of really figuring out who this person is and how I can best help them, you can train an AI to get all that data compare that with your own services and have like a report ready for you so that when you meet with them, you have a lot more concrete and relevant like data to give to them.
Great. Again, back to time. Back to time, efficiency, and making a more productive meeting. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just looked at the time, Shabir. Is there any other questions that you have? I'm so sorry I know we got started a little late. But
That's okay. I think we were able to cover like uh, uh, quite a lot, and it was a really fruitful discussion. So once again, I really appreciate that you gave me this opportunity, and um, I hope that the viewers and listeners can get a lot of value out of this, and hopefully somebody that listens to this uh, can look you up and maybe join you on one of your lunches.
listen, if they're coming through your channel, have them reach out, say your name, and I'd be happy to have them. That's more than just a lunch.com. And I can send and share that with you.
All right.
I can guarantee they'll thank you after attending.
Yeah, I'll add that to the show notes. So if anybody wants to kind of look into that more, they can look you up as well, and they can go directly to the more than just a lunch.com, right?
Yep, you got it. And I'd love to know how I can best support you as well. So please, don't be shy. Share that information with me so I can help spread the word for you and your services.
Awesome. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. So have a great day ahead, and I'll be in touch with you regarding I'll share the draft of the podcast with you
Oh, great.
before it goes live. So in case you want to have a listen and you want like a couple of edits here and there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with, listen, I love that. I used to do the exact same thing, so I really appreciate that. But I feel good about everything we've discussed. So
Us.
feel free to do whatever you've got to do. And like I said, just let me know what it is that I can do that can help, get this out, spread the word. You,
Us.
are there any kinds of people in particular that you want to have on your show? Maybe I can put you in touch with them. I don't know how to best help you.
All right. I really appreciate the offer. Let me think. Let me do some brainstorming, and I'll connect with you via email.
Yeah, totally. Whatever works for you.
Us.
Yeah, Shabir, it's been a pleasure. Other Shabir, hope you got a lot out of this too.
This is great. This is great. Thank you. Pleasure. Thanks for your hours, and thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.
Gentlemen, cheers and enjoy your weekend.
Cheers. Thank you. You too. Bye bye.